Now, just a little warning before we begin. There will be major spoilers in this video for the first 2 episodes of Kenobi. So if you have not seen it yet and you do not want anything ruined, it is a really good time to click away. Alright, so what we're going to do here is kind of do a joint review of the first 2 episodes. I'm not going to really try to split them up into individual. I'll just look at them kind of as the whole. I'm going to be doing this review with my wife, Sailor Naboo, who we do reviews and other things on my other channel. So just kind of got done watching it. It's not all that late because they decided to push the premiere time up a few hours, which is why this will probably drop in the wee hours of the morning, because I'll get it done before going to bed.
I'm talking about it's already a wee hours of the morning.
In some places it is. It's only like 12:30, right? First episode was like 50 minutes, and then the next one was a half hour or so. So
yes,
kind of nice long one, and then a nice short one.
You always have to subtract the time because there's like 6.5 minutes of credits.
Well, they had that really nice kind of
recap.
I mean, it's called the prequels, but it was a really, kind of got you in the right mood for it. Not that I think I wasn't in the right mood for this, but I did like the little kind of flashback recap thing we had there at the start of the first episode. I did watch it. Thought it was pretty good, pretty cool.
It was nice. It was appreciated.
Yeah.
Just a recap of their relationship and a little bit of Obi-Wan's life.
Yeah, it was pretty good. As for the first 2 episodes, also pretty good. Pretty good. That'll be my brief assessment, and then we get into the nitty-gritty details. What did you think of it, though, overall?
Overall, there was a lot of it I liked. A lot of it I liked.
There's a lot of things that are kind of question marks, I suppose. Did I just straight up kind of enjoy it for what it is? Yeah, for the most part. But there's a lot of, I don't even want to necessarily say lore problems, but a lot of questions about, how this will impact, the rest of the story, if you will.
I don't think there are lore problems until the end if there's no answers to these queries they've raised.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess we should start right at the beginning.
Good idea.
Instead of because the questions just kind of come as we go along. So, kind of opens up with, Reva and in the Jedi Temple as a youngling.
Well, we assume it's Reva.
I mean, I'm about 99% sure
totally
that is Reva, and we kind of get to see, that fateful, nightfall from a different angle yet again. We got to see it in Mandalorian too, or excuse me, Book of Boba Fett. I still want to call that the Mandalorian.
It was so interesting, though.
It was a cool way to open it up. I'll give it that. And so we can now assume that Reva was a youngling and that she survived. And I guess this kind of plays into the ending, but she knows who Anakin Skywalker becomes, and she somehow
feel like maybe Anakin spared her that night.
I don't know about that.
Reason, or decided that they were, or maybe that whole group of Padawans was taken to become Inquisitors. Maybe that was.
I thought that's more likely.
Maybe
they kind of survived and then got captured shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he spared anyone that night.
Let's not say spared. Let's say he took them into custody or something. And
I don't even think he did that. I think they
feel
may
like
have been
he has
captured
a
by the
connection
clones.
to her, though.
I mean, but the clones are ordered to kill pretty much Jedi on sight. So, my rough guess estimate right now is somehow she saw Anakin slaughtering everybody and blames Kenobi for kind of destroying her life, and now she serves Anakin and wants to impress Vader by finding and killing Kenobi is kind of the guess I'm going with right now. But it is very curious that she knows Anakin and Vader are one and the same. Again, we kind of just skipped to the end of the second episode.
Could it be something to the effect of the Emperor tasked her with finding Kenobi, and she's trying to impress him, not
I don't know
Vader?
about that. She seems like she's very much in the Camp Vader here.
Well,
I could be wrong, but
what if she's trying to impress the Emperor by finding this last thing that could possibly, bring out goodness in Vader and getting rid of him?
Yeah.
Taking him before the Emperor and having him destroyed.
I don't know that the Emperor is that concerned with finding Kenobi. I think Vader is just obsessed with finding Kenobi. Even going into Rebels, which I'm assuming this kind of takes into account, right? We have Vader, at one point really looking for looking for Kenobi, and Emperor's kind of like, well, if he's still alive, it's been so long.
That's true.
Which is kind of a strange line now because, well, they know as of 10 years ago he was still alive, or, whatever point in time that Rebels takes place, maybe 7 or 6 years actually. So it is kind of...
Well, Reva seems to know he's alive.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, but the other ones have to know too, right? They knew they were on the track of Kenobi. They pretty much were right on the tail of Kenobi.
They know that she's obsessed, and she's like, well, I've got him cornered. They don't see him. They have, at this point in the show, none of the other three Inquisitors, the Grand Inquisitor, the other two, they've not seen Kenobi.
True, but we don't know what's going to happen with Reva now. Did she kill the Grand Inquisitor?
No,
she
he's
killed
just wounded.
He's probably just wounded because we do know that the Grand Inquisitor will be, again, seen later in Rebels. However, I guess it could be a different Inquisitor, which would answer some questions about why one has a slightly rounder head than the other one. It
seems so bizarre that they got two of the same species as Grand Inquisitors.
It would, unless they're somehow twins or something. I don't know. They were Temple Guards together. I don't know. Maybe it's a very epic story we'll learn more about in a comic book or a novel someday.
Theories.
Well, I mean, he did get. I guess stabbing a Sith in the Inquisitor or Sith Darksider in the stomach really doesn't mean anything.
Well, immediately gets cauterized. He's fine.
Oh, he's probably, yeah. Like I said, you can cut him in half and push him down shafts, and they come back. So he's probably fine. But it was a curious thing that he did kill him off right away, or seemed to.
Well, this could spell trouble for Reva. I mean, obviously she's now struck out at her own, so maybe they will strike back at her.
Though we have seen kind of hints in the trailer where they seem to still be all together, right? So apparently...
Yeah, she is going to go back to their base or something.
I mean, this kind of is how the Inquisitors operate, right? I'm sure Vader doesn't mind if there's a little jockeying for position. a little stabbing and here and there to... if it means capturing Kenobi, I don't think he really cares what means she goes to.
Yeah, I was kind of sad that our little Jedi friend there...
Nari, the first one?
Yeah, he didn't last long.
No, he was dead pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. And Owen's a lot more stubborn than I thought he was.
I don't know. I always got the impression from A New Hope Owen is really stubborn. I mean, less so maybe in episode 2 when we see him, but he feels more like A New Hope Owen in this, where he's very gruff and kind of leave us alone, let me do my thing, kind of. Mm-hmm. Which I think makes sense. I'm cool with the way Owen kind of treats Kenobi at this point. He's been raising Luke for 10 years, and he obviously doesn't want him to take Luke away and get him killed like he got his father, quote unquote, killed. And speaking of twins and Luke,
Luke, Leia, and Lola?
Quite a bit of Leia in this, which was rumored to be happening. And I mean, now that we have literally seen Kenobi leave the planet, which we already knew was going to happen, mm-hmm. the way they did it with, Bail literally coming to Tatooine.
Seeing as Kenobi already said no, he wasn't going to leave.
But that kind of goes, is Kenobi a little too broken in this? Is he a little too, not even using the Force? He buried his lightsaber?
He's even taken sass from Owen. He seems to be pretty broken.
Well, yeah, but is this too much? Is this...
I don't think so.
He's not even... It's kind of strange because he's living in a cave at this point, right? He's
not even having his little... the crushing guilt that the entire order may have fallen. The whole Republic fell. He might put that entire weight on his shoulders. And he killed his best friend, his brother.
Well, he thought he did up until this moment, yeah. Mm-hmm. But, is it... I don't know. I never really thought Kenobi would kind of give up so much. I thought he would be kind of broken, but maybe not to the point of, like I said, clearly hasn't used the Force in a while.
Right.
He catches Leia at the bitter end, and he's really struggling to even do it. I thought we might see a battle with him and the Inquisitor in the episode, which he would lose because he's been... Yeah, because I have a feeling like Reva would have defeated him or kind of looked like she was beating him, which is... Inquisitor should not be on the level of a Jedi Master like Kenobi, even one who's rusty like Kenobi.
That's very true. But, obviously they get more practice.
True. Well, they get practice hacking off hands, right?
They probably fight each other.
Yeah, and stabbing each other, and they get a lot more practice with the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm. And probably all their Force powers.
Yeah.
Though I do want to say, going back to Leia, I really like the actress.
She's kind of got the right amount of sass, I guess. Maybe a little too much sass. I don't know that Leia is quite so
but she's still
rebellious, even though she leads a rebellion eventually.
But at the same time, she's a child. She doesn't know the consequences of her actions and such all yet, like an adult does. She hasn't had her sass tempered with real-life experiences the way Leia has.
Yeah, we can clearly see. I do like the kind of comparison to Padme mm-hmm. that Kenobi makes at one point. This does kind of seem like a young Padme. I can see why he would immediately kind of make that mm-hmm. connection and see that. Which was a nice moment. It was one of the nicer moments, I think, in the 2 episodes.
Heartfelt.
Yeah.
It was very heartfelt. But no, I think she hasn't even been trained to be a senator yet, so there's still a ways to go in her development to temper that rebellious streak, that sass she's got, that I'm going to say what's on my mind and not think about the consequences.
Yeah,
and she's 10.
Yeah, and she doesn't get to leave the, palace grounds. And speaking of that, it was cool to actually go inside Alderaan, right?
Oh, Alderaan was beautiful.
Yeah. It's kind of, we've always got that glimpse in episode 3, and now we're in the palace. We're kind of, seeing how things work there a little bit. And it does give you the prequel vibes a little bit, the way it looks, kind of the cleaner, more sleek design of the prequels. And it's, it's a nice contrast to Tatooine and then Dayu. So it's a nice contrast between the three. It's not just all desert like Kenobi could have been. And so you kind of see the different sides of Star Wars, which was kind of cool.
And the costuming was beautiful.
Yeah, I thought all around it looked really good. It looked, I thought Book of Boba Fett production value-wise was maybe a little bit down, and it feels like all their budget went to this.
Well, it shows you how far they can stretch their creativity when they decide to not just stay on a sand planet the whole time.
Yeah.
Where you can play with colors and different styles, and everything looks so different. I mean, we got to see a little glimpse of the spice trade even. I mean...
Yeah, we did.
First, he was offered spice by a little girl, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
And then he ends up in the spice factory.
Yes.
I mean, it was just really interesting that we got to see so many different facets of Star Wars that we don't normally see.
No, I agree. We kind of, like I said, we kind of got the full gambit. We got the desert. And though, speaking of that, I mean, on Tatooine, it seems like everybody knew who the Inquisitors were. Everybody knows about the Jedi. To me, that makes me wonder how Luke never hears about it. I mean, I know Luke is probably a little sheltered by Owen, but...
A little. I think it's extreme shelter.
Well, yeah, you're right. They did kind of show where Luke, walked away for 10 seconds, and Owen's like, Luke, where'd you go? I went around the corner, Uncle Owen.
Extreme shelter.
So I guess that's maybe how they're going to explain how everybody on Tatooine seems to know, who the Jedi are, what they were all about. The Inquisitors are hunting them. They seem to be, for an Outer Rim, no, backwater planet, they seem to know quite a bit. So I guess... if Owen isn't letting Luke out at all at this point, not even friends with Biggs or anybody at this point, doesn't get to leave the farm, kind of like, Leia. I guess
both
that kind of explains
that. Extremely sheltered at this point.
And we saw Kenobi try to give Luke the little toy Skyhopper, which he plays with in A New Hope. So eventually that is going to get to Luke, I'm assuming, the little toy he gave him. We see Luke playing with that in the first Star Wars movie.
I still wish he would have referred to his Yopi as Rue.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping he would call her Rue, which is from the Kenobi novel.
Look at him stealing food on the job.
Yeah, he steals food every day. What
casually.
Are they hacking up a crate dragon? It looks like.
Looked like a manta ray,
Yeah, I don't know what they were. I think it was a crate dragon or something, but kind of interesting.
It looked like a weird manta ray up on its side. It was so weird looking.
I don't know. I just assumed crate dragon because what else would be that? I mean, maybe there are other giant. There's always a bigger fish.
What do you think the crate dragons eat?
Oh, maybe. But no, we did get the mention of Qui-Gon. He does, at one point early, try to speak to Qui-Gon, which leads me to believe this will end with him finally connecting with Qui-Gon, and Liam Neeson will be in there. But no, I mean, I think some of the complaints or worries people had about it, that it wasn't really going to be about Kenobi, might be a little justified at this point. It seems like we're going to be all over the place. I don't know that does the Leia arc going to expand throughout the whole thing, or is that about wrapped up?
I don't know. Maybe they want to keep Leia with him, someone for him to talk to. Because, I mean, having a singular character on the run by himself, he's got no one to talk to.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like I said, I do see some of there's worries about Reva kind of stealing the show and Leia being... And yes, it does seem like I said, that's possibly going to be not all about... I mean, it's not all about Kenobi. Really, Kenobi might not be the perfect name for this, especially the way they set it up. They really are trying to... the opening credits, the end credits, it's all really classic Star Wars. The score kind of feels more classic Star Wars. I almost wonder if Kenobi's the wrong name for this, if they were kind of go this path with it.
I mean, we'll have to see. Like I was saying, in a book, you can have a solo character running around by themselves because generally you can hear what they're thinking and all that. In a TV show, you have to have somebody to talk to in order to express feelings.
Well, they could have had the... I forget his name already, but the guy from Eternals.
Oh, Haja.
Yeah.
I liked him. He
did quite well. Yeah,
long. I don't think he's dead. I mean,
I don't think they killed him. No. Which was surprised me. Is like, you know, she seems like she's like just eager to kill anybody, and the guy who's like, I'm a Jedi, and it's like that's the guy she's gonna like, the guy who annoys her more than anybody else in the series. Like, well, yeah, we'll let this guy live.
Whatever.
Maybe she just respected his, you know.
She was swayed by his charms.
Something, but I thought for sure he was going to be killed by Reva, who's just itching to kill everybody and anybody at any point. So another thing, going back to Leia, I wonder, I mean, because I always kind of assumed Leia had never met Obi-Wan Kenobi. You kind of watch A New Hope, her message is, you know, General Kenobi, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars, now he begs, you know. It's a very formal, like, I don't know this person. And so they may have solved that problem by simply calling him Ben.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, she hasn't even heard his last name yet, as we know.
I don't think she will
He's just
either.
Ben, this guy who helped me.
Ben the Jedi, yeah.
Ben the Jedi.
I've been the Jedi.
Oh, another Easter egg that I saw right away. During the party scene on Alderaan, 3PO was there. You could see his silver leg in the background.
The silver leg, yes.
Yeah, he wasn't the droid that she talked to, that she thanked.
No.
But he was in the background. He was translating for a group of aliens.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I was like, look, it's 3PO. I'm like, you can see his silver leg.
Yeah, you did point that out right away. Like, we don't know how he ends up with the silver leg, but we don't need just like how he ended up with the red arm, though a comic book did cover that. But we don't need to know. But it was cool that they did give him the old silver leg.
Mm-hmm. So we saw 3PO.
We did.
And he's in possession of the Organas where he should be.
He is. Everything's good there. I'm surprised we didn't see R2 roll in.
Oh my god. I don't know if R2's good at parties.
What do you mean? Did you see him on the sail barge? He got the tray. He's good.
Oh, I don't think he liked having that tray.
I think he liked having the tray.
No.
He did. I think that, to me, in Return of the Jedi, he had experience. He's been serving drinks for a long time.
No.
That is a droid with experience. I don't know. Another part I absolutely loved, got a big smile out of me, was the veteran clone trooper asking for credits. Tamara Morrison playing a clone trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot too.
That was a cool little scene. Might have been just my favorite little, kind of
I was waiting for him to catch a
moment.
sight of the lightsaber and be like, must kill Jedi.
Good soldiers follow orders.
So yes, exactly.
I was waiting for him to call him General after he saw it.
General.
It looked like he had blue trim on his armor, maybe an X501st. Because he was still wearing the clone armor. I don't know. I didn't really get a good look at it, but you may have recognized General Kenobi, which was cool. It's just cool because it's always like, well, where did they all go? Well, some of them apparently are begging on the streets, which is a horrible, horrible fate for them. And we kind of see them in Bad Batch get replaced, and yeah, it doesn't end well. It's such a tragedy for the clones. It's
a tragedy for all soldiers of war.
Yeah, war is never kind to those who actually fight in it, is it?
No.
But anyway, I thought this was a lot of questions. I don't want to pass any sort of final judgment. I enjoyed the 2 episodes by and large.
You just ended up with questions that you don't have answers to, and that seem canon breaking until you get answers.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know that they're canon. Like I said, the couple big questions. The fact that she knew he was
Anakin was a problem because Tarkin figured it out on his own. It's not supposed to be a well-known fact.
No, I don't think the other Inquisitors would know. I don't know how. I mean, like I said, it has to do something with the temple. It has to be that she somehow is. Maybe she saw the transmission of Anakin being called Lord Vader. Maybe she was literally hiding behind the scenes when, because as we see in Episode 3, at one point, Anakin contacts Palpatine. Calls him Lord Vader. She may have literally been hiding behind the...
She may have somehow seen him in his back-to-tanky thing, too, and been like, oh, I recognize that guy.
And speaking of that is how the episode ends, with Vader in the... I kind of knew that was... I think that's been a rumor out there, too, that the second episode ended with Vader in the back-to-tank, so that didn't surprise me at all.
I don't know, because I didn't listen to any rumors or anything.
Yeah, well, some of us just...
are fools.
Well, some of us get things spoiled, even if we don't want them spoiled. So I know a lot of the leaks and rumors, and... I mean, to dig into that, a lot of the leaks and rumors seem to be lining up, is all I'll say. But yeah, again, I thought pretty good. The two things, they did a really good job so far, answering what would be my 2 biggest questions, like how do you get Obi-Wan off of Tatooine? That makes sense. Well, you have Bail Organa literally come to Tatooine. Mm-hmm. And how, if you have Leia and Obi-Wan, kind of interacting, how do you explain how Leia doesn't seem to know who Obi-Wan is? Well... You never tell her that was Obi-Wan. You tell her that was Ben the Jedi.
Ben the Jedi.
All right, well, I guess that's all we've got for you this time. So your turn to take to the comments below. Tell us what you thought of the first 2 episodes of Kenobi. Are you liking it? Are you worried? Whatever the case may be. Again, leave your comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.